What is up, everyone? I am here for the first MHA chapter review of the year, and what an interesting chapter it was. Lots to talk about, so let's go ahead and dive in. So the last chapter ended with All Might providing Deku with a book containing info on all the past users of One For All and their quirks, so that he had some information on what to expect next in terms of what quirk may decide to manifest itself. Now, he couldn't find any info on the second and third users, but that's okay because this is better than nothing. We learned the name of the hero Black Whip manifested from, it's Lariat, and he was the fifth user. One of the most interesting reveals of the chapter is that none of the One For All users were particularly strong or chosen ones for that matter. All For One's influence was so powerful that he was able to go around continually snuffing out any light of hope, and due to that, One For All was usually handed down on the hero's deathbed as a means of simply making sure the power reached the next generation. Now, as All Might said, all they could do was receive it and entrust it. With that being said, Midoriya has the benefit of being able to learn and grow with the quirk without the constant fear of death crawling down his neck, for now. Here is where the chapter gets slightly wonky, or maybe not, depending on how you look at it. All Might says that the next quirk Deku will unlock is the quirk of none other than his master, Nana Shimura, which is Float. This is wonky because how would All Might know what quirk would manifest next? There's clearly no particular order in which this will occur, since the quirk of the fifth user is what decided to reveal itself first. So is this going to be some kind of training where they deliberately try to make this quirk appear within Deku, or is it a convenient plot device? Now, the reason I ask if this is a convenient plot device is because we've seen what Shigaraki was capable of in his fight with Redestro. He was able to spread his decay to things he was not even touching. This float ability seems awful convenient for avoiding a nasty, inevitable confrontation with Shiggy and his upgraded decay, and will allow him to avoid that kind of attack. Obviously, this is one of those wait and see things, but unless there is some kind of drawback to the float ability, Deku is turning into a game shark, just one quirk at a time. Let me just also say that the panel of Nana Shimura is absolutely beautiful, and I would let her choke her out with those legs any day. I said that wrong. I would let her choke me out with those legs any day. Anytime. Well, here we have what is most likely the last slice of life moment for a long time in My Hero. The kids are all having a hot pot party before final exams, realizing they will soon be second year students. All of this chaos has occurred, and they are still only in year one of the hero course. And these panels were drawn extremely well and do a good job of conveying the emotion in these scenes. Deku reflecting on how much growth has occurred in his life and how crazy it is that All Might, the hero he reveres, has his back, and the kid that used to bully him is now a friend. Some real nasty foreshadowing happening in these parts, and it has been going on for a few chapters now, as we all know. We also get the feels from All Might in his conversation with Aizawa about how he has decided to keep on living and how hard it's been for him to accept his powerlessness in recent times. He's putting new energy into the universe, and again, we are continuing to see this nasty foreshadowing. I would also like to point out how Kohei is a madman and coordinated this chapter with the episode of the anime depicting Night Eye's death. This was 100% intentional and a nice Easter egg for people who both read and watch the series. Now, also important to note is Aizawa saying he was going to begin training Eri. There has been a lot of focus and mentioning of Eri recently. She has an extremely important role to play, as she is mentioned more than a lot of the other supporting cast, even if we don't see her around. Just what she will be using her ability for is the question, since it will be another one and done until she can store up some more energy. So, interesting reveal here is that during his conversation with Aizawa, All Might revealed he was to meet with Stain. What business would All Might have with Stain? We haven't seen or heard anything from this man in forever, so it's interesting that he is finding his way back into the story. And this will be a big deal once it's revealed. Something like that would not be said so casually if it wouldn't have any serious implications in the future. Speaking of the future, we now fast forward to March, where we see Dr. Ujiko roaming the hospital. The nurse says he's a rare sight, and we can all presume his Frankenstein experiment on Shigaraki is now complete. We finish the chapter with the most ominous statement ever in My Hero. That day, heroes vanished from the city. Folks, y'all better hold on because this is about to be a wild ride going forward and shit is about to hit the fan. I fully believe this statement is referring to the deaths of heroes. There will be bloodshed and it won't be pretty. This is literally the calm before the storm, and all of the events in this chapter are indicative of war on the horizon. I can't wait to see how this will affect the students going into their second year, or if there will even be a UA for them to return to after this. One thing that can be theorized after reading this chapter is that the League may plunge the city back into those dark all-for-one times mentioned by All Might, with Shigaraki striking fear into the hearts of everyone. This would of course force the heroes underground and would shift the entire tone of the series. That theory may be a bit out there, but it would be interesting since at this point, something is telling me we won't be seeing our kids finish their education at UA. This is about to get really dark, y'all. But how do you guys feel about the chapter? You worried about the future? Think the heroes are gonna die? What about Stain? What about Eri? Do you think Deku being told he will get the float quirk next is out of plot convenience? Let's go ahead and discuss. As always, guys, like, subscribe, follow me on all my socials at YaBoyRoshi, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Check out the merch store link to that is down below, and consider becoming a patron. I'd greatly appreciate it. But that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you guys next time.